Welcome back in, friends, to another Black Clover mobile video. Today we're going to talk about the future of global, what we want to do to prepare for like future banners that are going to be coming up, kind of daily grinding tactics that you can use to get the most out of your stamina, how to provide your account the best value and increase and stuff like that going forward. So it'll be a couple of things in this video that we can go through just to get us prepared going forward. But before we jump into the video, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. It helps out a lot. It tells the algorithm that I'm doing good and the content that I'm making is getting to you guys and helping you out in a way. And if you like the content and you leave with a smile or you leave with some good information, please hit that like button as well and leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing and if there's any videos that you'd like to see in the future. So let's go ahead and take a look at kind of what we want to do going forward. We have a couple characters that are going to be coming out next. We have the two water temple characters, which is going to be Kaito and his sister. Let me go ahead and find them real quick. Where are they at? Here we go, right next to each other. So Kahano and his sister, or I'm sorry, Kahano and Kaito. So since we already got Julius, he just came out. He's very fresh to the game. This one is going to be a blue technique attacker. So it's not really something that you would want to pull for unless you're going to be just collecting in terms of that. But as a free-to-play player, I would say 100% skip these because they are not seasonal banner units. They will be getting into the regular pool, which means that once you start pulling on the next character that you want to go for, you have the chance of getting them anyways. His attacks are a single target, and I believe an AoE. Yeah, an AoE. These are very basic. I mean, it doesn't really do anything. I don't see these changing any kind of meta in PvP. And since we've already gotten Julius and hopefully everyone got their Noel as well, we pretty much have teams that are locked down for our PvE content going forward for the dungeons and stuff we're going to be doing. Whereas Kahono is a very great healer. But if you picked up the swimsuit Charmy, because of the order that everything switched from JP to global, she actually was supposed to come out before Charmy, or she did come out before Charmy in the JP Korean and Canadian version, but in global we ended up getting Charmy S2 first. So it kind of just nullifies the reason to even want to pull for her. She is a great healer though, by any means. So if you didn't get that Charmy and you are still looking for a blue healer, I would say at least try to go for her. Don't go all in by any means. If you don't get her within the first like 20-30 pulls, I would say just kind of hard skip. It's not something you want to waste anything on. After them, there's no true order in which we know that we're going to be getting any characters, but I did want to kind of hit on some that I would say if you have over 200 summons saved up and you have extra at that point, then maybe some of these characters are worth grabbing because they are useful in PvP down the road, especially if you got unlucky and you just didn't get Julius, or if you got unlucky and you just didn't get Noel. There is some other characters and stuff like that I would say is worthy to look into. The newer Charlotte, the Halloween Noel, the Hateful Fauna, and the Season 5 Charmy as well. And honestly, I think that's it. The other ones, yeah, the other ones were just not worth it. This S6 is, or this Season 6 as well was pretty cool. So this Charlotte right here, she's a Scent support. She gives the SP buff, which speed buffs are always good, or SP buffs or ultimates are always good. This just increases special points. She gives a debuff immunity, which is also really good for PvP. And then on this one, she gives Fortify and increased defense pin by 30%. So overall, a really great support. Her combined attack does a barrier. Not really something that's, worth mentioning on that. Passive is she grants a barrier as well for every 2 turns, or max HP for 2 turns. So overall, a pretty good unit. This one is a green unit, I believe. Yeah, green. So good for the PvP meta going off of the blue. Next, we have the Noel Halloween. She's also a debuffer, blue debuffer. So hers is going to be extended debuff duration and reduce special points. So that makes the enemy not be able to use their ultimate as quick as possible. Magic attack reduction is pretty freaking huge, honestly, and only taunts only the targets who applied the status effect. So they're getting like she's like an off tank, I would say. Like as a debuffer, this Noelle is like an off tank, the best way to put it. She's not going to be the main tank on the team, but because she does have that taunt and the magic reduction, she's going to be good to go against these Juliuses, and she's going to be good to go against these Noelles as well. Not necessarily in like green versus red versus blue, but just her utility that she has matching up against what they do. She also removes barrier, so obviously, like I was saying, her utility to everything that she does, and reduces special points, removes all buffs, and damage reduction by 34%. So anything that allows us to get like a damage reduction or like removing the barrier right now, it's barrier meta. This is a huge thing to kind of look at in the future. It's not something that I would say is a must-have, but a great unit to have if you're a collector. And because she is these are seasonal units, it's probably worth trying to get at least one of them, and then you can worry about getting dupes in the future. As for Hateful Fauna, this is going to be a green attacker, whereas we already know her blue form that she has right now is great for dungeon clearing. This one right here is going to be great for PvE and PvP. We get increased damage. We get the burn like she has already. Dispel barrier as well. Like I was saying, utility to take away these barriers is great with the meta that it's going to be sitting around for a while with like Rades and Noelle. And then gets a taunt as well, only the one who gets the status effect. That's with the combined attack. So, like I said, any units that are not seasonal banners, these are kind of like pass them when they come out, unless you just have like an overture of black crystals or summoning tickets. They're not something that you really need to go all in on. Next is going to be Season 5 Charmy. And all these seasons, they can change. These can come out, end of January, and they come out all together. So we don't know 100% yet. There's no release date on them. And I believe right now, while I'm recording this video, nothing has been leaked past the Kaito and Kahono right now. She is going to do the burn effect, and she also does a dispel barrier as well. So a lot of characters coming out in the future that kind of help to push away that Noelle meta. I mean, of course, she's just a strong unit overall. These are just utility to try to help beat against those, and there's good combinations that will go into that in the future once these characters come out and I can show some teams and stuff in action. I don't like to really talk about who's better than who and stuff like that until they come out, because all these percentages and the way that their abilities and stuff could change on global. A lot of times they'll do that if they want to kind of drip market for other characters, just being more utility based and stuff like that once they come out. The last one we're going to talk about for the seasons of whether you should summon or pass on them is going to be the Magna Ceremony. This one right here, I believe he's a pretty high tier. Yeah, S+ in PvP right now. Currently S+ in PvP. So it seems like a lot of the meta is going around this continuous damage. So I'm guessing that with barriers and with like the new tank Asta that came out and stuff like that, this burn meta is something that just sustains in there. I myself, I do not play JP or Korean, but I've been playing gacha games for a long time. So just reading their abilities and stuff, it's very easy to know what they're going to be good for and how they're going to be utilized in PvE or PvP. Also, again, a dispel barrier on all of these units, and that's why I was bringing them up, is that it kind of just shifts the meta, shifts the tide and stuff like that. Also allows you to get an extra turn. So another utility that is brought back again from Julius, and increased damage done. So overall, a really cool unit. I can't wait for him to come out. I can't wait for like a Luck and a Magna and like a SSR, like a high tier SSR. Oh God, I forgot her name right now. Vanessa. And definitely 100%. I can't wait for Marileona. I'm waiting for that one. So those are the units I would say. It's up to you as a free-to-play player if you want to summon on these. Obviously, we want to save as much as we can to guarantee that we get as close as a max dupe as possible, or at least the full 200 full summon through for Asta Black. This is a great defending unit. I know right now they have him in an S rank, but we will see another character come out pretty soon, I would say, on these servers, or if we catch up before that time, that will really utilize how this defender works. Right now, he does increase special points and block HP recovery down for the other team. Another dispel barrier, increased defense by 175%. So at the time, I believe Charmy was the only character in the game. The S2 Charmy was the only one in the game that could give this 175%. He's next. Another Dispel Barrier and a Taunt, and then also his combined attack inflicts stun on enemy. I believe this is 100% straight up stun, just like Julius has right now. So anytime you have a character that has a lot of utility on their kit, you don't necessarily need to have someone who does high amounts of damage. If they're controlling the battlefield, then it just allows your damage dealers to, obviously survive longer, get more buffs, and dish out the damage they need to win the turns. Let's go ahead, and that's going to be it for the characters. As I'm saying, like right now, the ones that we want to go ahead and summon for after Julius is going to be, or think about summoning for, is going to be the Charlotte, the Charmy, the Noelle, the Magna, and Fauna is one that you would want to look into. And I don't think Veto's Hateful Form, it wasn't doing very well in there. Again, another defender. We have Rades already. He's a great sense defender. He's still S+. So those are not something that I would be looking into getting. And the last person that I would say is Langris. But again, we already have some good green attackers with Licht and Raya. So these are all characters that I would say you can kind of pass on. Asta is the one that I would say, save up for this banner. Get ready for this bad boy right here. He's slapping cheeks. Don't let people lie to you. All right, let's hop back into the game. So now that we got the summons and savings and stuff like that out of the way, let's talk about what we want to be doing on a daily basis to go ahead and get the most utility out of your stamina. What I've been doing and what I think is the best process of doing this, it's allowed me to get the most progress on my account. I haven't really pushed for power level, but I am pushing for having a complete account of all level 100s and LRs. So what I did was all the stamina that I have been getting, I've been putting into Bond Patrol, getting everyone to Bond 10. I believe I have every character right now that is SSR to Bond 10, or at least Bond like 8 or 9. Besides these last 3 right here, I just started working on them today. They're both at 8, and then he's still at 0. So I would say if you do things out of order, it becomes stressful because you don't see your account progressing as much as someone who is doing things one by one. I know the chase for getting a 200 CC or combat power CP account is something that is most people are trying to chase for. I myself, I can probably push it if I put my utility or my resources into it. But I'm playing patient. In Arena, I think I'm floating around like 700 or 800 right now. 858. I have 2 of these, and I haven't bought any of the refreshes. So I can probably get down to like 600 or somewhere like 550 or something like that if I choose the correct opponents and do it wisely in that way. When it comes to the challenges, I've pretty much cleared, let's see, 27, 27, 27, 27. 27, 27, and then here I need to do these, and then this has not come out yet for us to do. As for the Evergreen Forest, I have enough CP to go ahead and just do that on farm, which was the main goal, just to level everyone up. As for the dungeons, I believe we're at 15. In this one, I can probably, if I didn't auto it, I could probably get to 15. I need to try that later, but there was really nothing that I wanted right at this moment from here. Not saying that this gear is not good, because it is very good for certain characters, just not with the ones that I'm using right now. The main focus is just sustaining that kind of like 500 to 600 range in PvP, and hopefully break into the top 500 to get Challenger 1, and then move on past that. Other than that, I have not been touching the city district at all. These are all probably like 8, 9s, and 10s. I can go in and knock those out later. And as for the talent seeds, again, I only pushed up to enough to where I could unlock these certain ones like this. And then I kind of stopped right there. So what I'm doing in order is knocking out the Bond Patrol to get everyone's Bond to 10. This also gives you a lot of resources on the back end for using that stamina. So that stamina is not wasted in return if you go ahead and look at this. Let's go to the rewards list, and every SSR is basically the same. As the only difference is between these seasonal units is they don't get a costume at level 9, so you get an extra 40 black crystals. But as for that, you get some XP. You get two of these mage pieces there, and then you get a bunch of black crystals throughout here and some XP. So just doing the bond patrol, you're getting resources that you would get from other entities inside the game as well. And if you go through basically every single SSR character you have, get them all to rank 10, you're basically getting, depending on how much you've summoned, of course, and how many characters you have, you're getting at least 10 to 20 free summons worth of black crystals, I would say, minimum. And that's not including doing your SRs that I'm sure some of you have done Voltos and Finral already. Those of us that were unlucky in the beginning have probably done Soul and Charmy for our healers. And other people may have done the original Noel and Mimosa as well. So a lot of these characters, if you're just building them up in bonds, you get rewards from them. And if we go and look at the SSR or the SRs, I'm sorry, it's basically the same rewards, as opposed to these are not the gold ones, they're the silver ones, obviously, for those. Same amount of crystals and everything. So knocking those out for your account, the characters that you're going to be using, or SSRs in general, is a good way to start doing that stuff. Once you have everyone maxed out to bond 10, I would say the next step is obviously the most stats for investment is going to be coming from your XP. Get everyone to level 100. That way you don't have to worry about it anymore, because we get login mage XP that can be used for the next characters that we're summoning for and coming out. And because we're on a rest period, then we have a good amount of time to save up these materials anyways. After that, I would say go for talents and at least get their, not dungeon, go for talents and at least get, unlock two of each of these on the talent trees for the characters. And then if you really want to kind of just grind out to unlock all of them to get the stone inlaid, then do that. But always do your daily dungeons, use these tickets over here. And the best way to use it, that I would say, is you do the first couple of these single. Don't do those like triple attempts or anything like that. They probably do the same thing, but my luck right now has been, if I do a single with a food buff of some sort, I've gotten more LRs that way. Here, obviously, we don't want to use a food buff on the 100. And we can just use a 20 right here, 20, 20, 20, or 10, 10, 10, and then 20, and then nothing. That way we guarantee at least 2 to 3 LRs every day from our dungeons. That being said, obviously you want to clear out all your memory halls every time these stack up. That way you get a chance to, if you get lucky, get some of these. I've gotten one gold one out of all the memory tickets that I've used so far. And Hall of Illusions, always push as far as possible as you can on here, because the rewards do give you the skill points to level up your skills. Other than that, guys, thank y'all so much for watching. If I missed anything, let me know down in the comments. I'll be sure to answer the comments, and whatever it is, I'll answer that. Again, like I said, it really helps out a lot if you guys hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.